first video on my YouTube channel, and in this channel I will be doing many videos about cubing and mostly focus on how to solve the Rubik's Cube and my speed cubing journey. So let's get started on the easiest tutorial on how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Okay, so the Rubik's Cube has 6 sides, and we have an orange, blue, red, green, and yellow, and white side. So the first thing we do is scramble the cube up. And then we can begin solving it. Okay, so now I think it's scrambled enough. Yeah. Maybe a little more actually. Okay. So, before we get started, let's go over the notations. So, this is U. Moving the top face, if this is U. U prime is the opposite. So when I say U prime, you go this way. And when I say U, you go this way. And D is down. And for down, D is this way. And D prime is the opposite way, like that. L is down, like this. And L prime is up, like this. R is up like this. And R prime is down like this. And the final one, there are 2 more actually. F is this way, the front face this way, and F prime is the front face this way. And this is back. B is, if you're holding the cube like this, B is like this face right here. B is this way, B prime is the other way. So that now that you've learned the notations, feel free to go back, rewind, and go over the notations again, because learning them would be really helpful in your journey to solve the cube. Okay, so let's get started with solving the cube. The first thing we need to recognize is that we have an edge. This is what is called an edge. This is an edge, that is an edge, that is an edge, and that's an edge. These are also edges, this one right there, and this one. And these are the centers of the cube: the green, red, blue, white, yellow, and orange. There are 6 centers on the cube, and the centers never move away from the center position. The edges can move, but they always stay in a fixed position. Another note, if I say R2, I already told you the R was this. So R2 is nothing but you're just turning it twice, like that. It's a double turn, which can be performed in just 1 turn. So today I'll be teaching the beginner's method to solve the cube, and it's often called the layer by layer method. And I also know the CFOP, the Friedrich method, which I'll be teaching later in the series after we have covered the beginner's method. The first step to solving the Rubik's Cube is creating the cross. And the cross, you probably have heard of this, and it's like a cross that goes like this. You can do it on either side you want. You can do it on your favorite color. So let's pick your favorite color. But often, the easiest side to do it on is white. No, I've actually done it so many times on white that I'm used to it now. But you can do it on any color you would like. So the first step is to pair a white. So we need white here, 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 and here, right? So look at the center. So you have a blue center here and a red center. We need to pair this blue edge with a white edge here. Blue and white edge. So find a blue and white edge. So we find a blue and white edge. Just look around the cube and try to find the blue and white edge. Here, this is a blue and white edge, right? And we're just going to turn it here. You can see it's right below the white. And if we just make a turn here, we can connect the white and blue edge. So our goal is basically connect these 4 edges with their corresponding center colors. So I want to I want white to be here and red to be here. I want white to be here and green to be here, and I want orange here and white here. So we can create a cross with the corresponding center edge colors. So next, let's find orange. Orange, right? Now we need to move it here. So how can we move it here? Since this is orange center and we have an orange right here. An easy way you could do this is you could just move it up like this without messing this one up. Move it to the center here. Move this back down to preserve that position and move it twice like that. So now we have the orange and blue. Let's do that again with the green. So this one is often confusing for some people, and I want to clarify this. There's a really easy way to do this. All you do is see orange here, move it there to that side, move it down here, and then connect it. Now you might see the orange is here. You can just move it down, and you have it there. Same thing. You can just move it up here, like this, and you can just move it to the cross. So now we have finished the cross, and feel free to practice this a few times until you're comfortable enough with the cross, and then move on to the next part of the video. So as a summary, we have a white cross with the corresponding edge colors. So if it's a blue center, then we have a white and blue edge, an orange center, then orange and white edge, a green center, a white and green edge, and a red center, then it would be a white and red edge. After we complete this, feel free to move on to the next step. The next step in the beginner's method is to solve these 4 corners, and in order to do so, all we do is we look for a white corner to fill in the spot right here. So we have here. So I'm going to tell you an easy way to identify where it goes. We have an orange and blue center, right? So this has to be an orange and blue corner to fill in the spot. So we already have one right here, white, orange, and blue. All we can do is we can just move it up here to the right there, and then we can move it down there into the spot. So now we have the orange and blue. In the next step, we'll be filling in the spot, but first we need to complete the 4 corners. So now I have a white, blue, and red. So if it's white, blue, and red, and it goes between blue and red centers. So in order to get this to the top, you can just do this. Bring it up and bring it to the right and bring it down. That should usually work without messing up any of the other pieces. Then we take it to where we need it to be, blue and red, and then we can just bring this up to the right and down. Yeah, note that I'm not using the algorithm notations. I just want to make it a little easier. After that, in the description, I will be putting the notations if you would like to take a look at them. Okay, so now we have an orange and green, and white. So it goes between green and orange, which is right here. All we can do is, if it's white is on the top, you can just move it like this, twice like that, and like that. Now we can just move the green, orange, and white corner piece right there and fill it in by moving this up, connecting it, and bringing it down. And we're almost done. Just one more corner piece, and between red and green, so we have white, red, and green. We move it to the white, red, and green corner, and for this you can just do up, right, down. So now you have successfully completed the 4 corners, and you have filled in the corresponding corners, and now you're ready to solve the 2 layers. So by the end of the next step, you will have solved these 2 layers right here. Now let's move on to the next step, which is finishing the first 2 layers. And this step is super easy, but there are 2 algorithms that you might want to memorize. But they're pretty easy actually, so you won't have much trouble memorizing these algorithms. The first thing you do is, in order to solve these edges. We want to solve these edges. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 edges to solve. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, these 4. I'm holding them right now. Yes. In order to solve them, we need to look at the centers and the corresponding edges. So we have a green and orange one right here, right? So in order to fill those edges, we need the green and orange edge, which is right here. We have green and orange and green edge. Now we need to place this right above the color that's right here. So if green is facing here, then we put this piece right above the green. If it's the other way around, green and orange, we put this here. So now we do the algorithm that I'll be showing you right now. And after we do the algorithm, this edge will be placed here. The algorithm is U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. And we see that we've filled up this edge here. Now the next edge, let's look for another edge. So orange and blue. We need to fill in orange and blue. Where is the orange and blue edge though? It's right here. But it's misplaced. So how do we get out of this situation? Well, all we do is you can just move it up, down, up, left, and down. So we have these two right here. And you can put it back into its right spot. And then we have the blue and orange edge here. And since this color is orange, we place it right here and, with the orange. So these should form a line like this. And we do the algorithm. If you want to fill it here, then the algorithm is U, R, U prime, R prime, U, F prime, U prime, F. So that is the algorithm for moving right. If you want to move the edge piece from here to the right, that's the algorithm you use. Let's find another one. So blue and red. We have a blue and red one right here. Yeah, now we need to move this blue and red edge piece here. So we're moving left. The algorithm is pretty similar, but it's like backwards. So let me go over it. It's U prime, L prime, U, L, U, F, U prime, F prime. So now we've filled in this edge, and we have one final one, and it looks like we have another misplaced edge. So we just move it out like that, without messing up the rest of our edges, and then you just place it back in. And then we have the green and red edge right here, so we'll move it to where it belongs, right? So it creates that line with the red. And now we need to fill in this edge right here. So we need to move right now, so the algorithm would just be U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. And congratulations, now you finished the first 2 layers. And if you didn't understand like all of it, feel free to go back, rewind, and watch again, because I know it does take a while to figure out the Rubik's Cube and to like actually understand the concepts. Now we can start to solve the top layer. So when you finish the first 2 layers, you will face many situations. There can be just one yellow dot right here, a line like this, like what I have right here, or there can already be a cross for you, plus an extra, or a cross with an extra yellow here. Our goal here is to form a yellow cross. So if you already have the yellow cross, you can move on to the next step. But if you don't have the yellow cross, then follow along. If you have a yellow line like this, hold the cube like this. And you want to do this algorithm. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F. And you will form the cross. If you have one like this, where you have a L-shaped yellow, L-shaped yellow pattern, then you can just do F, U, R, U prime, R prime, F prime, and you have your cross. Now sometimes you could have just one yellow dot in the middle. In this situation, all you do is do the same algorithm 2 times. Like pretend you have that yellow line and do the algorithm 2 times. So F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. And now what you can do is you have that L. So sometimes you might have an extra yellow here, but don't mind that. As long as you have an L, you can move it like that and do the other algorithm. Sometimes you could do just the first algorithm again 2 times, or you could do, or if you get the L pattern, you could do the algorithm for that. So let's do it now. F, U, R, U prime, R prime, F prime. And sometimes you might already have like these filled in, but you can just move on to the next step. Then, yeah, sometimes you might already have these 2 filled in, but as long as you have the cross, you're fine. Now you can move on to the next step, which is completing the whole top layer, the yellow top layer. To solve the top layer, there are 3 possible outcomes. So this outcome is, I have 2 corner pieces that are already yellow. There can be either 2 corner pieces already yellow, no corner pieces that are yellow, or just 1 corner piece, like this one and not this one. In this situation, when we have 2 corner pieces, what you can do is, you see this? So what we can do here is, there is a way that we can put these yellow corners on top and place them here. And there is a shortcut, but first let me show you the non-shortcut way. All you do is you bring it, you do R prime. So you do R prime like that, and then next you do D prime, then you do R, then you do D. Do the same thing again. Now you might wonder why your cube is messed up, but don't worry, because your cube will be back to its original position. Then move this face, so this is facing you, this yellow is facing you, and do the same thing 4 times. So let's do it. R prime, D prime, R, U, D. Sorry. Do the same thing 4 times. And you will have these 2 layers, and still you will have, and now you have the top layer solved. The second case is that you will have the cross and 1 extra yellow corner. If this is the case, then there is an algorithm you could use to fix this easily. So this yellow corner could either be facing here, or it could be here, and sometimes it could also be there, and then we would perform the double corner algorithm. In this case, what you would do is move it here, so this is all the way in the back, and you're holding the cube like this, and I would do R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R2. No, just R prime. R prime. And you would have solved the top layer. Sometimes you might get this situation where the yellow is right here, facing right here. Now this is a super easy algorithm. All you do is to solve the top layer, you do R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And I have solved the top layer. Sometimes there are no corner pieces that are yellow, and in this situation, you can just do the same algorithm twice that I showed you last time. Like R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. So now we have this situation. And sometimes you might have the other situation, or sometimes you could have two corners filled in but on opposite sides. In this situation, which would come from any algorithm, so like if you have one dot in the middle, and you could do it 2 times and you would get this possibly. All you do is you see this one, you would do the same thing I showed you last time. For the same thing as if this corner was right here. So this is 4 times. And then you move it here and do it 2 times. And now we have solved the top layer. And these are all the possible cases we could have for the top layer. Now we've almost solved the cube and we're ready to go on to the last step, which is positioning the yellow corners and the top layer and solving the cube. Now in order to solve the cube and complete solving it, we want to look for a pair of headlights. And what I mean by headlights is, look at these. Like there's a color in the middle, one color in the middle, and there's one edge of a different color and 2 corners that are the same color. So in this case it's blue, green, blue. It could be red, green, red, yellow, blue, yellow. It could be orange, red, orange. It could be either one of those. So if you want to so if you have headlights here, you want to move it to the back of the cube and align it with the proper face. If you have blue here, you want to align it with blue, like that. And after you have aligned it, I see a good F2L case here, but I'm not going to be talking about that today. If you have headlights in the back, after you move them to the back, to do this algorithm, R, F, R, B2, R, F, R, B2, R2, U. And now you will notice that you have headlights for all sides of the cube. Now sometimes you might not have any headlights at all, like this. And in order to get a pair of headlights, you want to do the algorithm once, and then do the algorithm again, so you get the headlights on all the sides. Let's do it again. So, it doesn't matter what side you're holding it on, just do the algorithm. It's R prime, F, R prime, B2, R, F prime, R prime, B2, R2, U. And now we have, I meant U prime, sorry. And now we have a pair of headlights here. So, now we can pair it with the correct sides. And remember that if you have orange headlights, then it goes on the orange side, like this. If you have red headlights, then it goes on the red side. If you have blue headlights, it goes on the blue side. And if you have green headlights, it goes on the green side. Or whatever sides you have on your cube. And it all depends on the color of your cross that you started out with. After you have the headlights on one side of the cube, you move that side to the back of the cube, and you hold it so it's on the back, and you're facing the side of the cube. So now you do the algorithm again. R prime, F, R prime, B2, R, F prime, F prime, R prime, B2, R2, and U prime. And now you will have headlights on all the sides. And now we're almost done with the cube. As you can see, all we need is to align these edges in their respective areas, and we are done with the cube. So congratulations on making this far, and we're almost done. So sometimes you will have headlights on all 4 sides, and sometimes you won't have headlights on one side and have headlights on 3 sides. Well, if you have no headlights on one side, then the cube will be easier to solve. In this case, you move the side with no headlights to the back, and you do the simple algorithm to solve the cube. You do F2, and you move the side which has the color, which is the color of the center. So if I'm performing the algorithm here, and red is over here, then I'll move red here by doing U, then I do L, then R prime, then I do F2, then I do L prime, R, U, F2. And now I have completed solving the cube. If you have headlights on all 4 sides, you do the algorithm twice. So you do F2, and remember, always move the color here. So green, if you have green, you want to move it here. So you want to move whichever edge is on either side here. So in this case, we have green, then L, R prime, F2, bring it back up, and we want to look at where it goes. Now we have one side solved. Do the same thing. F2, the blues right here, we match blue with blue. L, R prime, F2, bring it back up, L prime, R, and look where it goes. So if you see 2 reds here, match it with the 2 reds here, and trim the cube and solve it. You have solved the Rubik's Cube. Congratulations. And now I will be telling you guys a shortcut that you could use if you do find yourself with 4 headlights. So here's a shortcut, the bonus shortcut, if you have 4 headlights like this. What you can do is you can use the middle layer. So M2, U, M2, U, M, U2, M2, U2, M, U2. And you solve the cube. Much easier. This is actually part of the CFOP PLL. But I just wanted to show you guys, because it really would decrease your solving time by a lot. Now, if you have 4 headlights, here's another shortcut. When you have these edges opposite each other, so I showed you, the case I showed you before was when you had them right next to each other, blue here and then this over here. But if you have if these 2 are on opposite sides, we have red and orange on opposite sides and blue and green on opposite sides. In this case, if you have 4 headlights, here's a nice shortcut we can use, rather than using like the algorithm that we performed 2 times. You could just do M2U, M2U2, M2U, M2. Super easy, right? Rather than doing like 2 algorithms that are harder to remember, you could use this simple algorithm and solve the cube. So that's it, guys. Congratulations on solving the Rubik's Cube. Hope the tutorial was easy to follow, and let me know if you have any ideas on how I can improve my channel, or how any ideas for videos. I'm planning on making a video for how to solve a 4x4 Rubik's Cube and how to solve a 2x2 Rubik's Cube, and also possibly a tutorial on the CFOP method for the 3x3. I'll be posting the algorithms in the description so you can follow along. And it might actually take a few tries to solve the cube, so if it is confusing for you, rewind a few times, and after you have solved the cube by watching the video, go back and try to solve the cube by yourself. And what I did when I was solving the cube is I used the Rubik's guide on the Rubik's.com website. I really suggest it. It's really helpful, especially if you're a first-time cuber, and if you refer to it for the algorithms. And as time goes by, you will learn the cube. Like, it just gets into your head. All the algorithms, you will memorize them really easily, and then you can start solving the cube, and it'll be a breeze by then. And hope it all makes sense to you. And this is the easiest way to solve a Rubik's Cube. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. And please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and hope you have a great day.